Ta-da! Time for the intro. She's in studio. Did we make sure we get a picture? You know, one of them candid pictures. Did you get it, man? Hey, man, what y'all doing, man? Oh my God, man. Well, you can't get anybody. I don't know if you're taking pictures, you know.
Doing video.
My executive producer, you see her sitting over there.
Boomeranging, whatever.
We'll see. It's probably going to put my teacher. I got food.
It's going to go viral.
Okay, cool. My next guest was introduced to the world. It's perfect because Tyler Perry is on this show as well.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, good stuff.
So this is a great intro. Introduced to the world as a national recording artist on the soundtrack to Tyler Perry's first movie, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Mm-hmm. She's a comedian and has written and co-produced a project with Rickey Smiley, that's my boy, frat brother, appeared in Las Vegas as the Flamingo on George Wallace's stage, that's my boy, he's a little crazy, coming into town, teamed up with George Wallace and J. Anthony Brown, another fool, on a show called Two Devils and an Angel. She is the first African-American woman to be syndicated on a nighttime gospel radio show, 6 million listeners, and is heard in 46 Radio 1 cities. Woo! I'm tired just reading about all this and talking about all this. Please welcome to Money Making Conversation, my girl, Darlene McCoy.
How in the world are you doing, Rushion?
Well, we hadn't saw each other in a while.
It's been a minute.
I was coming for. I made a big old spread.
Sure do.
For your cause there.
Sure did.
They ate it all up. You know.
Every bit of it.
And but let's talk about. You have an event coming up here.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Tell us about this event.
So it's called. It's at City Winery, Atlanta.
City Winery, Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. In Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Because of course they're national, but in Atlanta. It's called Jesus Was Eclectic, Decades.
Okay.
Which is actually the name of my EP, so we're performing it live.
You're performing it live. So it's just going to be you on the show?
No, I actually am introducing my son, Champ, who is a hip-hop he's a conscious hip-hop artist, and an R&B artist, Alvin Garrett.
Like Lecrae type?
Yeah, well, but less church, more street.
Oh, okay.
But still, yes.
I want to hear
that really conscious.
So is it rap? Or is it? What
yeah, he's like a rapping Martin Luther King.
maybe a gospel Travis Scott. Let's make some
money.
Right
yeah,
let's make some money.
Let's do this thing. Yeah, but about like that.
I think it's Travis Scott.
But yes, we're introducing him. But I'm going to take everybody on a journey through the decades, from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and with your favorite music. 70s gospel music, then my music infused, and then 70s R&B.
Okay, cool. This is January 29th.
The 29th of January.
Okay, cool. On the 28th, I am in town. Okay.
Because
on the 28th, I'm hosting the event for the Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Okay.
Real Men Mentoring campaign. My boy Rico Lee will be there. Q Parker will be there.
Wow.
Harry Douglas will be there.
Wow.
And we'll be doing it at the gathering spot.
Okay.
And so on the 29th, which is the very next day, being that you are my girl,
yeah,
I would love to introduce you.
What?
Yes.
Listen at this. Did y'all hear that? Okay. Did y'all hear? So you want to introduce me? Thank you.
Yes, I would love to
Thank
introduce
you so much. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, that's happening.
Yeah. I've introduced a lot.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. A whole lot. And I'm sitting up here like, for real?
Yes. I will be there not only to enjoy the show.
Thank you, Rushion.
Hear your son. But I will make sure we get some banners. I promote it as well. So I can get it on my social. Let everybody know Rushion. People know I rarely go on stage these days.
Right, but I'm so glad you got Yes.
Yeah, so you can tell everybody Rushion McDonald will be introducing you.
Thank you.
At the winery in Atlanta.
Thank you so much. Man.
I am and always have been a fan.
Thank you.
And when I would land in Houston, we had to turn on the radio to listen to you because your skill is so natural, and your ability to your relatable talent. That's what I always felt. You were relatable talent. And so, so I was going through preparing for my show and everything. And I was this morning I wrote down everything I had to do to my staff, and I emailed it out. And I said, have I missing anything? Then Samantha came in. Yeah, you missed this. You missed this. I always tell them what I'm missing.
Oh yeah.
You missed this. She's executive. Samantha is the executive producer of the show, and so she tell me, you missed this, missed this. And then she saw the NBA All-Star game in Chicago. She go, do you need anybody to go with you?
I know that's right.
Did you need anybody? I said, no, I don't need nobody. Okay. What I do need is the 29th free. She said the 29th is free.
Thank
I
you
said I'm going to come on the show
so
today,
much.
and I'm going to talk to my girl and see if she will allow me.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? I am honored. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, I'm honored, and
that.
it's going to be fun, and we're gonna do our best to make sure people are turned away. And let's get the word out about this. What time is showtime?
Showtime is 8:00.
Okay.
But the doors open at 6. People can come in and get their wine and their food and enjoy.
I've never been there. Can you?
Yes.
How is the wine? Is it food and
it's food? It's you can have dinner and your wine and if you don't drink wine, have water, whatever you want to have. But you can come and enjoy and have a nice dinner and then be ready for the show.
Okay, cool.
It's almost like a supper club.
Yeah, which I performed as a comedian many years ago.
Really?
I'm used to that format. I didn't like people eating while I was trying to tell jokes. See, you can sing and people can eat.
Right.
See, because they can groove and roll in the chair.
Yeah, but you might choke somebody if they bust out
laughing.
laughing.
But I'm just letting you know what I'm saying.
That's right.
You got to hit laughs when you tell a joke.
Sir.
You got to get verbal feedback that this is working.
That's right.
All this rolling side to side, pointing at me on stage and no laughs. That's not going to work for me.
They feeding they back all right.
That's not working with it. That's not working. No, we're not working with that. So how long has this show been on the books? January 29th at the winery.
In December we got a call. And they were just like,
great.
Isn't that so? I mean, it was a blessing because a friend of mine was like, don't you have an EP dropping? I said, yes. She says, don't you want to play at the City Winery? I'm like, of course.
Right.
So, she says, okay, let me call you back. And then the young lady from the City Winery said, could you do it on the 29th? I'm like, yes.
Oh, wow. That's hot.
Absolutely,
that's
I can, and I will.
That's
so
hot. That's
we are
hot.
so excited about it. My band is excited. We're going to perform probably 45 minutes to an hour, but we're going to take you through the decades. I just pray that everyone has a good time.
Well, they will. They will. Like, my whole thing is that, already, I'm thinking about how I'm going to walk out there, this is your thing. I gotta build the hype right because it's all about the intro.
I'm going to need that comedian to come out of you, though.
It's all about the intro, It's all about the intro.
I need that to come out of you.
The thing that I fell in love and found you was
Yes.
on radio. Okay, and also in your syndicated show.
Yes, you
So
were.
tell us about that journey of we're going to get to the comedians later.
Okay.
But the journey of what you're doing now as an entrepreneur, as a female in a male dominated business. All businesses for some reason are dominated by men. Even women fashion, they making it. Okay,
that's right.
Okay, so tell us about that because there's something you're doing that's very unique. That's why we have to put it out there. Talk about it.
Well, the thing of it is having this platform.
Yes.
I feel like I have to be responsible with it. It's one thing to have the platform because people love you as a radio host. That's one thing, but even with that, because they do,
right?
I want to take advantage of this opportunity to bring my friends along and help me, reach back into our communities.
Right.
Through the platform. I have something called Mobs, and I know that you've been a part of that as well. We do something annually called Celebrities Cooking for a Cause, and I reach out to my celebrity friends like Rushion McDonald, especially over the holidays.
Rushion came
and
through.
he came through, look, especially over the holidays with all his bacon and cakes and all of that good stuff and pies. But anyway, I reach out to them and ask them to, prepare their favorite meal and their favorite dish so that we can go and feed those that are less fortunate and wrap our arms around them and love on them and, give them gifts and whatnot. So that's one of the things that I do. But everywhere that I have an opportunity to speak to mothers,
yes,
I take the opportunity to do that because I am a mother of 3, but they're grown now, of course, and I got 2 grandkids. But one thing that I did not have a lot of, I have my mother, but I was not in the same city with my mother.
Right.
And I needed guidance, support, direction, someone to point me in the right direction, sometimes just right, that was within arm's reach. And I think that makes the difference when you're raising children. Sometimes, parents go through things where the father and the mother are not, on good terms. But how do you make that work anyway?
Right.
You still have to make it work for the children. So everywhere that I can speak to young ladies and mothers, I take that opportunity to do that.
Well, that's wonderful because it's as they say, it's needed because I have 6 sisters, so I'm always find these conversations relatable. Not all the marriages have lasted.
Right.
And, that's the way life is. 50% of the country is marriage, 50% of the country is divorce.
Right.
So, but the kids can become, collateral damage
That's true.
That there, I always tell them they didn't ask to come into this world.
Mm-hmm.
So when they come here, we should understand that they didn't ask there. So there should be priority in our conversations.
Priority is the right word.
And that's really key. Now you have a very special brother.
Yes.
In Greenville, right?
In Greenville, South Carolina.
Talk to us a little bit about him.
I call him Dr. Martin Luther King's other younger brother, but his name is Pastor Curtis Johnson, in radio as well. But he is also the pastor, but he is more than anything an activist. He's a community activist, and he's connected with Elder Bernice King and a lot of the efforts that she's doing globally to promote the principles of Dr. Martin Luther King. Right.
So big event there for today?
Yes. In Atlanta, Georgia, he is actually a part of a huge event, which is the commemorative celebration of the legacy of Dr. King. He is a part of it, and
Well, that's awesome. Well, the thing about it is that I know when your show syndicated into Greenville is a big deal.
Yeah, we were like rivals, and that was so crazy.
Right. That's what I want you to talk about. The fact that he was on radio, then you coming into the market on radio.
Exactly.
Talk about that.
Exactly. It was so funny because my brother has been like the top rated radio host in Greenville, South Carolina on all formats for years.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so now when this new format of gospel would come in, we were actually the top ones, but we were rivals. It's just like he's on the other station and she's on the other station, but we're brother and sister. So I would have events that he couldn't promote.
Right. That's true.
He's like, but it's my sister. I'm like, and I'm gonna make it real hard for you and do it at our church.
There you go. That's a little evil there.
Isn't that evil?
What did that play you did? The Two Devils and an Angel?
Two Devils and
another evil person. That's what that name of that play with George Wallace and J. Brown on a show called Two Devils and an Angel. Replaced an angel with another evil person that portrays herself as an angel.
Well, I wanted everybody to guess who the angel would be.
Well, it ain't you. It ain't you. We're going to be right back with more of my girl, Darlene McCoy. We're going to talk about something I read in your talking notes here that says that breaking the stigma of what church looks like in 2020.
Yes.
My next guest, she's here. She's right next to me. She's in the studio. They got cameras rolling. They taking photos. A lot of things going to go viral off this. But, the fact that when I get one in the studio, because all my interviews are generally on the phone, because I'm not because they don't want to come and see me. It's just my lifestyle sometimes forces me to come in and get out.
That's exactly right.
But I am suited like this all the time.
You are always suited. I ain't never seen you unsuited.
I am suited like this all the time. This room could be empty. Your boy gonna look like this.
You're gonna be sharp, huh?
I go run that corner. They can't think something went wrong with Rashawn.
Because if he comes unsuited, something did
go
wrong.
Right. And people didn't know that. People didn't know that. So when our life and our relationship, I'm a call guy. You call me, I will react.
That's right.
And then they just explain to me, and I look at my schedule. My staff knows that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been that way all my life. I've come from Fifth Ward. I have 6 sisters, 2 brothers. And I was saying this in the earlier interview that, when I was 15, my father was a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
And my mentors, because my first job was at a packing company, were forklift drivers and people who unloaded trucks.
Mm-hmm.
And so despite being an A student, probably getting any college in the country, when I graduated from high school, because my mentors were forklift drivers and people who unloaded trucks, when I was 18, I wanted to be a forklift driver.
Wow. Because it was all you could see.
That's all I could see. And guess what? I went and got a job as a forklift driver.
Wow. And was happy about it?
Very happy. Very happy. And it's not so much that I had limited goals. I just didn't have a big picture to see.
Wow.
And so that's why when I'm talking to you, I really wanted people to hear your story, because it's never the story that they hear now.
That's right.
It's the journey to the story, because we all have to make these different shifts.
Come on, sir.
And when you make these shifts, they enable you to grow as an individual and also compel you to be something that you didn't see yourself being. And so when I'm talking to you and you're an inspiration to me. You always put a smile on my face. Beautiful woman inside, beautiful person outside, great voice. And when you have 6 million listeners, what responsibility does that put on you?
It puts on me a responsibility to project my experience. And what I mean by that is I've gone through some things, and I've told you, when I moved down to Atlanta, Georgia, I had $1 to my name. And I had to beg Kroger for a job. They gave me a job. And that was just as you were saying, the forklift driver, like at that time, Kroger was like what I wanted. That's the place I could work because that's all I could see.
Right.
But it took a tremendous amount of faith
Mm-hmm.
for me,
Mm-hmm.
faith and desire to see something else and to go after something else. I started to see what was going on around me. I see
Right.
so many affluent African Americans
Right.
that were doing great things, and they were at my age.
Right.
And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have to just do this.
Right.
I could do other things.
Right.
And it was just as my vision started to grow,
Mm-hmm.
I started to grow
Right.
and go after certain things. And I feel like, with 6 million people, I really feel like I'm talking to a large percentage of those people are dreaming too.
Yes. This is true. This is true.
Do you see what I mean?
Right.
And if I can inspire your dream by letting you know that what you see right now was all a dream.
Well, the thing about it, because we're in the, I always call people, we're in the Muhammad Ali era.
Yeah.
Don't be humble.
Mm.
Shout your success.
Mm-hmm.
Tell people how great you can be
Yeah.
and should be treated.
Yes.
That's why I call Muhammad Ali era, because when he did it, I would tell people, note this, that corporations have been screaming they the best for years. Buy the best car, best hamburger, best pair of slacks, best insurance. That's what marketing and branding is. Social media has allowed us to be able to do that now.
That's right.
I said social media platforms are basically your own press conferences. You don't see people anymore say, we're gonna call a press conference today. They don't do it anymore.
Just get on social media.
Okay, I just posted it already.
Right.
And it just goes out because it has changed the way we do and communicate out. And sometimes a lot of people make mistakes, when they post the wrong thing, then they try to take it down and I realize somebody's already screenshot it. And then they can go back in history on you. So know there is responsibility that comes with social media. Now, we talked about 6 million listeners. I know you're also a social media influencer.
Yes. Yes.
Talk about that responsibility.
Boy, that is a responsibility. Sometimes I have accountability around me that sometimes I can be real passionate about certain things.
Right.
And then my passion can overtake my brand.
Right.
If I allow it. So
Okay.
I have accountability when I know I'm getting real hot and heated about something.
Right.
I'll go to that group and say, should I post this? What do you think?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes. Because sometimes you have to understand that what you think will come and bite you
Absolutely.
later.
And
So-
it really because of the fact that we all know that you can say black, white, you can say green, yellow. People will hear what they want to hear.
Exactly.
And sometimes, as much as you try to bring clarity to the situation, people can shape it to the direction they want to tell the story.
That's
That's
right.
what you call editing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really sad. So with that being said, you in that gospel world,
Mm-hmm.
those churchgoers.
Yes, sir.
Some of them are living the life of perfection.
Come on.
Can't tell them nothing
Come on.
because they all socially right.
Right.
Lord have mercy. God is good. How do you deal with that girl? With the
Listen,
God is good people.
That thing right there, man, listen.
And who do you know you're talking to?
Right. Right.
What is a church person?
Well, listen, what is a church person? Well, there are several. And, you have to understand.
I didn't want to get you
several
fired up.
different times.
I didn't want to get you fired up. I didn't want to
Listen.
get you fired up.
I get excited about this part, but actually, I was raised in church, and so I know church like the back of my hand. But then I run into some people that are not living a truth.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You are comfortably living a lie, and then you're covering yourself up with God is good all the time. Well, yes, that is true, but are you the truth?
Right.
You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's it. It just we go through.
Well, the thing about it, I'm not trying to push too much information out,
Yeah.
but I just know that I remember several years ago, Steve Harvey and Kurt Franklin did a tour together.
Mm-hmm.
So I have firsthand awareness
Yes.
of that branding and marketing
That's
in that
right.
particular market.
Yes.
Because that was my responsibility.
Sold
to get
out
these,
tours.
Yeah, get these dates sold out.
He did it too, y'all.
I had a comedian who was known for cussing,
Uh-huh.
and I had Kurt Franklin, who's all 100% gospel.
Come
and
on.
guess what? Teenagers and kids could come to his show.
That's exactly right.
So immediately, when I put the tickets on sale, I said 18 and up. Oh, Lord, I didn't know. 'Cause I'm just selling tickets. Then get the call from Kurt people. Tickets say 18 and up. We have kids and teenagers and bring their baby. We got to change that. And I said, okay, wow, what I'm going to do, Kurt? Okay, Kurt, can they not sit on the front row?
Wow.
I said, can they? can they be on the third or fourth or fifth row? Because I know that Steve Harvey can't
He's
come
gonna
out
go
there.
home. He going
He
in.
probably do it now because he's Family Feud king.
Right.
He's Family Feud king.
Right,
He's straight.
right.
He's straight family now. But back then,
the church wasn't ready.
He had just kind of did that video for Bishop T.D. Jakes.
Right.
Okay. You know, that was the first time he did a show without cussing, so he wasn't all the way there.
Right.
And
right.
so
Right.
I understood that when I was trying to figure out, first I started marketing on, gospel stations. That were, that's my market. Wasn't selling no tickets.
Right.
Because then I realized that, okay, who are church people?
Mm.
Then I started going back to the R&B stations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
They buying them
the
up,
hip-hop
ripping
station.
Mm-hmm.
My tickets started moving.
Yeah.
So that's why I have to ask the question, who are church people? Because when I was
Yes.
over there on the church gospel station, wasn't selling no tickets. When my e-blast was going out to the all gospel centric, wasn't selling no tickets. But as soon as I went over there to what they would call sinners, I started selling tickets.
That's what I'm talking about.
I started selling tickets. So that's why I asked that question, not to be, condescending,
Nah.
because I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
All I know is that they listen to Al Green.
Mm-hmm.
They listen to Teddy Pendergrass. They listen to Jill Scott. They listen to Kim. They listen to Anthony Hamilton.
Tell the truth.
Okay. They listen to Keith Sweat. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, I'm going through kind of the same thing because City Winery is a winery.
Yes.
And they're saying, well, the gospel people are not going to buy those tickets. And I'm like, oh, yes, they will.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, they will.
Oh, see, it's really funny. See, now, if you own a gospel station talking about it, then they go, oh, I can't come. But just take that same interview over to a R&B station.
And the same person here.
Same person here. Girl, I'm going to get those tickets tomorrow.
Rashad is not telling. He's not telling the lie.
No,
And
that's the sad part about it. And that's what
we
leads
will
to my
have
question
some
that you have,
inspiration
my
at the
statement that you
Atlanta
have.
City
Breaking the
Winery.
That's
stigma
right.
of what church
Your
looks like
show
in 2020. The name of the EP is what? Talk to me.
Jesus
about
was
I just believe
eclectic.
that a lot of times,
who all will be
what
on
we've
the
done
lineup?
in the past.
It will
with
be
church and then
Alvin Garrett,
promoting
R&B singer,
Christ and
Okay.
promoting God.
hip hop artist,
We made it
my
seem
son,
like
the
he's so
champ.
delicate that he can't take the truth about
Also,
who he
Leon Timbo
That's
is
what I love about
coming.
Kirk Franklin. Kirk
Yes.
Franklin.
Let me
is
tell
the
you
guy
something.
who,
He's amazing. But then, of course, it'll be me and my
It's
band.
really interesting that you
Oh,
say
did she
that
forget
because
somebody?
he's so honest.
And
and
introducing.
approving.
Hold on, wait a minute.
hold
Hold on. I thought you were talking about performing.
Because in the end,
But
you should be able to
hold
be
on one
yourself.
second. Let me just make
Hey,
sure.
well, you already said
I
it.
say
You,
the best
you
one.
already said
Yeah,
that
because
you
God
hope
made us.
that the
I mean, it's
comedian
like
walks
I am
on that
equipped
stage
with
to
everything
introduce
God
you.
You have to.
You already said
You
that.
gotta
didn't
be
you?
the comedian.
You already said
Please.
that. So.
individual.
Mister.
That's
No,
exactly
no,
right.
Money
And
Making
each
Conversations
individual
himself,
has an
Rashawn
equipment
McDonald, will be
and a purpose
introducing.
and a
No,
plan.
And
too many people have
money making conversation.
Listen.
Slash comedian.
We talk.
Slash
Yes,
praise
we
the
are.
Lord.
That's
You
right.
know, we
Yes, we
That's,
don't
you
Sam,
got to
we
make
on
sure
point,
that's
Sam.
all.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
they get it. 'Cause you know, you
That's what I'm
so
saying, but-
multi-talented.
There you go. There you
He's
go.
so
There you go.
multi-talented.
What's going to happen? Who's
It's
going
levels.
Who's going to be introducing you at the winery?
You see what I'm
January
saying?
29th.
Yes.
I heard a rumor
Good.
out at somebody's real
You know,
big.
just as
That's right, it's
I was
Ruth
just
Jordan.
saying, you know,
It's levels
we
to
are
him.
who
I'm
we
telling
are.
you, it's levels to him.
And God made us who we are.
Money making conversation.
But if we can't be
Comedian.
authentic,
Host. Marketing
what
branding
is the
expert.
reason that
Manage
we are
your
waking
great
up every
talent.
day?
And
so that's what you want in
connoisseur
2020.
for the
that's exactly
for the-
right. We want
for
real
the
people.
downtrodden.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm there to
Real
uplift.
people that have
But
a
I'll be
real
uplifting.
story.
Pick him up.
And that
January
have something to
29th.
say.
Yes,
no,
sir.
I'm not
Winery.
perfect,
Pick 'em
but
up.
I probably will
We're
never
going to be promoting.
Yes, sir.
Promoting
And I'm
hard.
not
Church
gonna-
people come.
I'm not
Yes,
going to
sir.
be so
God will be
arrogant to even
good.
try
Yes,
to
he
be
will.
perfect.
At the winery.
Yes, he
So
will.
tell me this.
January
Just be me.
Tell me about
Winery.
I know we all over the
Syndicated
world,
show.
but you got to
What
come
is
to
that
Atlanta
show?
to see us together on stage.
That's right.
Produce shows, morning shows. So I know I have a system. You start with phone calls, and you have some jokes here, then you have entertainment news. What is the lineup of your show?
The lineup of my show. Well, I'm on at night.
Right.
From 7 to 11 p.m. So my thought is I'm catching people who are coming home from work,
Right.
have had probably a hard day,
Mm-hmm.
and that want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a chat room topic, so we could just talk
Yes.
about absolutely anything.
Right.
But my purpose for my show is to uplift.
Mm-hmm.
Before people go to bed at night, just get everything off your mind that happened
love
during
that.
the day.
I love that.
And
I
at
love that.
night, let's have a little inspiration.
I love that.
Let's have some fun, entertainment, laugh,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of clear the atmosphere so that you can sleep well.
Cool. Now, January 29th,
January.
we
20th.
will have some inspiration at the Atlanta City Winery.
That's right.
Your show.
Mm-hmm.
The name of the EP is what?
Jesus was eclectic.
And who all will be on the lineup?
It will be Alvin Garrett, R&B singer.
Okay.
hip hop artist, my son, the champ. Also, Leon Timbo is coming.
Okay. It doesn't bother me.
Let me tell you something. He's amazing. But then, of course, it'll be me and my band.
Did she forget somebody?
And introducing. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. I thought you were talking about performing. But hold on one second. Let me just make sure.
Well, you already said
you
already said that you hope that the comedian walks on that stage to introduce you.
You have to.
You already said
you
that.
You got to
didn't
be the comedian.
Okay, you already said
Please.
that. So.
Mr.
No, you're
Money Making Conversations himself, Rashawn McDonald, will be introducing.
No, this we got to do now. Help him out. Okay.
Okay.
Money Making Conversation / comedian / host.
That's
Rashawn
right.
McDonald. Okay.
That's, we got to make sure that's all. Yeah, they get it. Because, you so multi-talented.
There you go. There you
He's
go.
so
there you go,
multi-talented.
What's going to happen?
It's levels.
Who's going to be introducing you at the winery?
You see what I'm saying?
January 29th. I heard a rumor out in somebody's real big.
That's right. It's Rushawn. It's levels to him. I'm telling you, it's levels to him.
Money Making Conversation, comedian, host, marketing and branding expert, manager of great talent, and a connoisseur for the downtrodden.
Yeah.
I'm there to uplift. But I'll be uplifting.
Pick him up.
January 29th
Yes,
at
sir.
the winery.
Pick him up.
We're going to be promoting.
Yes, sir.
Promoting hard. Church people come.
Yes, sir.
God will be good
Yes, he will.
at the winery.
Yes, he will.
January 29th. At Atlanta Winery. I know we're all over the world, but you got to come to Atlanta to see us together on stage.
That's right.
Bye, y'all.